you got a spork in your mouth? Are you about to try to stab me? Why are you doing that when you're about to eat?
Did I touch something?
Your eyelashes.
It's fine.
Okay, y'all didn't know.
You should have played in the dirt more.
My wife is kind of violent.
I'm not. Stop, chump.
What up, fam? We're back.
We took a week off.
We did take a week off.
It was not my fault.
I think it was kind of mandatory we take a week off.
No, it wasn't about that. We came up with an alternate plan and still didn't do it.
What's up, guys?
Get refreshed.
Happy Sunday. It is mukbang time. And
Gotta
we're
get
back.
our freeze.
Yeah, we gotta get the freeze frame.
Okay.
So today, we're eating.
This is my freeze frame.
Nope. Some Popeyes chicken and biscuits.
This is my freeze frame.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Are we not getting the freeze right now?
We're not doing that as a freeze frame.
I want to.
No,
Why can't
no,
I do this?
Because your face is covered.
I want it to be.
No.
I can't peek over the box.
No, that's weird.
You selfish. Selfish.
How am I selfish? Because I want everybody to see your beautiful face?
No, because it's not your idea, so you don't want to do it.
That's not true. Anyways, here's what our plates look like. Kind of skimpy. Anyways, we got the 2 for $10 joint, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Popeyes, I'm kind of disappointed.
I'm very disappointed.
Because it said 2 large sides come with it.
These are not large.
This ain't large.
This is a single. And it said, okay, so we all know that all food places offer, these deals. And we get it. But if you wouldn't accept that order, then don't put the order out the window. Period. If you would get home and be disappointed and you saw this, then don't put the order out the window. I don't understand what's so hard about that concept.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of disappointed.
I am very disappointed.
So we end up getting 5 pieces of chicken.
It's so hot.
I got Cajun rice as my side. What you get?
I got red beans and rice. I always get red beans and rice.
So I think it's your turn to pray yes.
Sure. Lord, we thank you for this food. Bless the hands that prepared it. And even with the thoughtlessness, we ask that you continue to bless the people that provide food for us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Did you just, throw shots through a prayer?
Probably.
Okay. All right, so
shout out to the sniper squad. Gang, gang.
I don't even know how to react to that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's so hot. Look. See you steam?
No.
It's there.
Cajun rice is so fire.
You can have that.
So
I don't like that. It's offensive to me.
And just for sound, I'm trying to see where I can bite it.
Here's the thing, though, Popeyes. Your food is always great. I've never gone to Popeyes and had a bad experience. That's a sound effect. Did you know that?
Mm.
Have you ever heard the sound of somebody biting into celery?
Called ASMR.
They normally use it for breaking bones. It's really gross. Biting into it or sniffing in it.
This is so good right now, y'all. All right. So we took last week off because last Sunday was our nephew's dedication. And we ended up going out to eat with the family. By the time we got back, y'all, it was late.
No, by the time we got back,
we were asleep.
We were asleep, and it was time. We had 2 hours, and then we had to get right back up and go to Sunday dinner.
Oh.
That sleep wasn't even worth it. It was the time change.
God, this chicken's so good. But
And it's a good thing we don't want more because there's none.
there's a piece left, and it's like a wing that looks dehydrated.
It's a sick chicken. Sick bird. Technically, all the birds that are sick, if you watch
Not
it.
while we're eating.
Okay. Sorry.
Not while we're eating.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I left it alone.
Thank you.
Still thinking about it.
Stop it.
Technically, I could jump back in.
No, please don't.
You don't want any more info?
No.
That's fine.
So this week, we're gonna talk about how adulting sucks and how, as you're growing up, nobody prepares you for this.
I don't think that. I think that when they were trying to prepare us for it, we were like, nah. My mom, for example, every Sunday, every major holiday, all the women would try to like force me to be in the kitchen with them. And every Sunday and every holiday, I would be in there for all of 2 seconds, like long enough to like chop something or move something or put something in the oven or take something out. I would complete 1 to 2 minimal tasks. And then I would go back into the den or the living room so I could watch the game with my daddy and my uncles and my cousins.
I just think, like,
So,
yeah, I don't think that we were like paying bills.
we weren't paying attention to what they were actually accomplishing while we were kids.
Man, because, like, listen, transparency, in about a month and a half, we need to figure out where we going to live.
Yeah, we have to move.
We're going to have to move.
Technically, we don't have to move, but somebody has decided that we need to move, which is fine because I understand, where we are, in our lives right now. So I'm cool with it. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh my God, we're not being put out, so don't worry. It's just one of those things where we're already we're saving right now. And part of saving is making sure that you're not spending more than you're getting coming in. And so for us, it's just not wise to stay where we are. The better thing for us to do is to go somewhere else. And
they're raising our rent by like $100.
And it's mainly because so many people are moving out. In our area, we live in a really great area. Like, it's perfect. If you guys watch our vlog, you hear me brag about all the time. And it's not really a brag, but it's just something that's great for me as a person in a new city where I don't really have to be super aware of driving far out. Like, I've got 2 grocery stores here, my son's school here, my job's here. I'm good. So that's perfect for me. But, we've been here a little bit of time now. And so...
Yeah, this is year 3.
Year 3 for you. Mm-hmm.
Living in this complex. It is a great complex, but, just $100 raise is a lot of money.
A lot for nothing else to be added.
Right.
Like, there are no amenities being included. It's just like, your rent's going up. People are moving out. Here's a letter. Please respond soon. That's literally what it said.
We gotta respond tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I just feel like school just didn't prepare, at least me, for adulting. Like, I feel like they taught us algebra, history stuff that we're never gonna use, and that was it.
You don't remember taking... Okay. Mm-mm. I took it, and I cannot remember what grade I was in. It had to be like 8th or 9th, but it was a rotation class, so you only took it for 1 semester. And I remember taking it because, gosh, I can't remember the teacher's name. I want to say it started with a G, but any of my Nettleton alumni, please help me out with the name of the class, because it wasn't home economics. It was something else. And the teacher, because she was awesome. I loved her. She was so sweet. But I remember learning how to make a pillow. I remember learning, she did the whole budget thing. So you got a chart of salaries. And I remember we had to draw a job. We had to draw rent, and we had to draw our salary. And she showed you how to budget, pay bills, and all that stuff. And I remember doing that because that's where I learned how to write a check. I remember learning how to write a check in school. But was it Grady? Miss Grady? I can't remember. That's gonna bug me. I know. But I did feel bad about that. But she was awesome, and I loved her. And then my aunt taught me stuff how to sew, how to fix a hole in a sock. She taught us how to make soap. She taught us that kind of stuff. I just think that I was so in the moment of being a kid that it was I'll get there eventually.
Because I'm trying to think, I learned how to write a check by watching Mom and Pop. In school, it was a bunch of stuff that I'm not using. Mm-hmm. When's the last time you added fractions together?
I cook every day. So that's different.
But it's not like you got to go 2 1/4 cups. Like that's easy. Like
If I'm like doubling a recipe, I do. I'm not saying it like it's just super important. I'm just saying there are moments when you use it, but it's not like every day. Like I'm not going to the gas station going, oh my god, what is 12.56 plus 9/8? Like I'm not doing that. So I get your point. I agree with your point.
I just feel like don't get me wrong. I love being an adult because I get to make my own decisions. It's not like I got to run and ask somebody or like my folks. My folks. Yes, me and my wife talk about every decision.
You said it right the first time. Nah, I'm done.
Are you?
I love you.
No, you don't.
I do. Oh, my blanket fell. My legs are cold.
But like I feel like when it comes to adulting, they were just like, here, go into the world, figure it out. Like, I mean, our parents obviously tried to help. You know what I mean? Like, give us, hey, this is what we did. You shouldn't do that. But I feel like, you feel like college prepares you to be an adult?
Oh, college was a complete stop in how to party and still pass a class.
I went to school just so I can get my degree and be like, all right, I can get a little more extra money on my
Salary.
Paycheck. Yo, she's playing footsie with me.
His foot's under the table. It's in my direct line of play. I don't know. See, my parents did the thing like when we got a job. It wasn't immediately for those of you that think this is crazy, but when we started working and we were bringing home money consistently, my parents had us pay a small bill. It wasn't like, you got to pay the rent or something. Honestly, I think both of us paid a bill that was about $50 a month. And it was just one of those things to kind of teach you, okay, no matter what happens, you have to pay this bill. And for me, I thought that was smart. I have seen like debates going back and forth about that, especially in African American households where they say our households are the only ones that do this. But I think it's more about us being a culture where we have to do that because our kids kind of get shoved out into the world a little bit faster and are not able to be coddled as much. Not necessarily like all other races, get to coddle their kids, because that's not always the case by any means. I was thinking, and it's crazy because I was thinking about this during church today. When he was talking about the age groups and stuff, we always get included in the youth, and I'm like, nah, pimp, like don't keep asking me to do all these extras because I'm in my 30s. Like I don't have the energy and I don't have the time to just be, super young and out here and doing a bunch of stuff. Like I'm running a household, I'm taking care of a husband and a son, myself, working, make sure Daniel's doing homework, making sure Charles has wife beaters and socks. Like it's a whole other job.
I always got socks.
Yeah, I know. You sure do.
The wife beaters, just yeah.
God, you cannot eat a Popeyes biscuit like with no moisture.
I know. I'm looking at that honey packet that's right here in front of me.
I put it over there because I knew you were gonna let that biscuit sit.
Gotta eat your chicken first.
No.
I'm trying to think. My parents really didn't we didn't have to pay any bills, but like my mom used to work in a bank, so she used to be like, this is how we budget. This is how we do X, Y, and Z. And when I was like 16, I'm too busy worrying about, I need to get the car. We got this party we going to. And then when I got older.
You were going to parties at 16? Oh, you were just so free. I was not. I was going to church. I was going to church.
I was going to church too. On Friday night after the football games or Saturday. Kicking it.
I was at the game acting a fool. Yelling at the coach. Shout out to Coach Denson.
But I really didn't start implementing a budget until I was in my 30s. I just spit.
Gleek.
Until I was in my 30s.
Wear this thing no more.
Like real talk. Like when I was in my 20s, paycheck would come, paycheck would go quick.
I couldn't do that. I was paying for school and living by. I was determined to move out. When I finally moved out, I moved out with people that weren't ready to move out, and so I kind of had to.
Do you feel like you should have stayed home longer?
No, I think that I should have been prepared. I should have moved out on my own. That's what I think. Because that's what ended up happening anyway. So I feel like I should have moved out on my own. And I was still kind of like nervous about it. I was still scared to live by myself until I had to be in a situation where I lived by myself. And when I had people living with me, I was always in these terrible situations. Like, y'all, my apartment got shot up. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I had to deal with. And I wasn't in like this horrible neighborhood either. Like, my roommate let someone else move in. The boyfriend lost his mind and decided that the best thing for him to do was to shoot up my apartment so he could get inside because all the doors were locked. So that was a fun phone call to the landlord. Hey, sorry, my patio doors are gone. Could you come fix that? Great. But yeah, I feel like I was more prepared to live on my own than I thought I was. And then when I got in the situation, I was like, okay. But I had created, there was some debt that was created from having roommates.
Yep.
And so I had to combat that. So I was working 3 jobs and in school full time, and it was crazy. I was doing way too much. But I always was doing way too much, so it wasn't like it was a pattern. Wasn't a pattern of habit.
See, like for me, like I went away to school first, hated it, and decided to come back. And when I came back,
I've been trying to see if you parking in my parking space.
Baby, your parking space is right next to the door.
You know I'm not supposed to stay parked there during the summer because of the rat.
Maybe that was the winter when that happened.
It wasn't winter.
It was in December.
Is that December?
Jesus.
I knew it. She live over here. That means she's supposed to be parking over there.
Anyways. So yeah, when I got back from school, I stayed with my folks. And it was weird because like once you get out of the house, you get so used to being able to do stuff for you.
It's gone.
And not have to worry about, answering to your folks or anything like that. So it was like a struggle.
The struggle was
when I
real.
first got back. And then I lived with them for probably about 3 years, and I got my own spot. And my house was the kicking spot. Like, it didn't matter what day of the week it was, everybody was at the house and we was kicking it. Okay? And
insert clip from wedding.
it just became too much though. Like having to pay rent, having to pay bills, pay my car insurance, my cell phone, and like I just got out of I just stopped going to school, and I was working full time. On top of having a social life and all that stuff, it was just too much, man.
Yeah, I remember I'm like, dang, I knew people weren't going to be at my house if there wasn't a party that weekend. The only person I could pretty much count on all the time for being at my apartment was Marika, but that was because we were working together at the time, and so like people came over to get ready for the party, pre-turn up, go to my brother's house, go to the party. If somebody didn't want to go home, they would end up staying at my house. But for the most part, I was pretty much by myself all the time.
Yeah, see,
I know it's a lot.
My house was the pregame spot. It would literally, this is no lie, there would at least be about 5 or 6 cars in front of my condo. And then we would all go to the spot, wherever we were going for that night. And then like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, come back to the house. And if people were just too turned, they would just sleep on the couch, or they would sleep in my extra room on the floor. There was a few nights where Jossie, my homeboy Jossie, crashed on the couch. One night in particular, I remember him and his cousin, I had just met that night, were asleep on a couch and on the floor that was like, it was like a stone floor. It was like a stone tile floor. They were knocked out. Knocked out. What kind of tips can we give to people about being an adult?
First things first. If you decide that you're ready to move out, do what my parents told me to do. Save $2,000.
Yep.
You need $2,000 in the bank. And honestly, that was when I was younger. So you probably need anywhere between 25 and 3 now. Just be like depending on where you are. And I came from a small town, and I still needed that amount of money put back. And I did have that amount of money put back, which is why when I ended up in the situation I was in, that I was able to kind of stay afloat for a little bit. But definitely that's going to be your first thing. Make sure you have money put back. And that's money put back, not for your move. Mm-mm. That money,
your rainy day
is
fund.
For, yes, exactly. So the 2,500 to 25 to 3 is on top of your deposit, and then your first month's rent. Mm-hmm. You really need about 2 months rent, but you're starting out. So 25 to 3 put up. Where is she going? Like, she would give them
I'm sorry, y'all.
This woman is just like walking next to our. I knew it. She lives right there. And she's walking by my car.
I would say actually sit down and listen to somebody who's been through a move out, or who has been, who's gone through some stuff. Like your parents and uncle and aunt.
Your parents, trust me, your parents want you to move out just as bad as you want to leave.
Big facts.
They do.
Big facts. Because I'm counting down the day today, you'll be like, yo.
I'm not. Nope. Mm-mm. Because of what I went through, Daniel's saying.
Daniel already told me when he turned 18, he found his own spot.
He did. Daniel's been trying to get a job since he was 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like real life, Daniel will go up to people and say, "Can I work here?" It's scary. But he's serious because he likes to save his money. Like the other day, he broke his piggy bank because he wanted to take money to the book fair. And he took his own money to the book fair. And then after the book fair was over, the change he had left over, he put back in his piggy bank and then proceeded to scour the house for change. Like he takes it very seriously, putting his money back. And he said that now he's going to save. What did he say he was going to buy? I think he said he wanted to buy a video game. Yeah. And we don't ever really let him think that he's using his money, but he's not using his money. We just, we're like, oh yeah, you did good.
Here's the thing I want to start doing. Sorry, I got honey all over my hands and stuff. Shut up. You were getting ready to say something. Exactly.
I had a song.
Like I really want Daniel. I don't know. How do I say this? Like I've been watching the Ellises, Duval and Kadeem. Yeah. And he said something. Duval said something the other day where he wants to, like, he's trying to teach his sons financial responsibility and working for yourself. Mm-hmm. And honestly, that's where we're trying to get. Mm-hmm. Like I kind of said it in the vlog on Friday. You haven't seen it yet because I haven't edited it yet. But I was just like, I'm tired of working for other people and making other people money while I'm sitting up here living paycheck to paycheck. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's frustrating because there's stuff that I miss out on, and there's stuff that I don't get to be a part of or do because of my work schedule. And it sucks. It sucks. Like I want to be at Boy Scout meetings. I want to be able to take Daniel to...
No, you don't.
I want to be able to take Daniel to basketball and football practice when he gets there, and, karate. But because of my schedule right now, I can't. And, it's tough. Like this, but like being able to be an entrepreneur or working for YouTube, doing YouTube full time, it's not easy. Like it's stuff. It's not like
it's not easy at all.
Like tomorrow, I'm gonna shut down everything else that I'm doing, and I'm just gonna focus full time on this. You can't do that. You have to have so many views. You got to have so many hours put in. And
we have a lot of people that'll say, "Oh, I liked your video," but if they don't watch it, it doesn't count.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you can't just click the like. You actually have to watch the video and watch it in its entirety.
It's a grind, man. And like, I really, at some point, you know what I mean? Like, the prayer that I've been praying is in a year or two, we can be like, you know what? We're getting the views, we're getting the sources, we're getting the, you know, the AdSense, whatever. She could quit working. I would love for her to stay home and be able to take care of the house and, you know, homeschool Daniel or whatever.
I would lose my mind, but I would try.
And then, you know, somewhere down the road, we have no napkins. I swear I was just thinking.
So I'm sitting here doing this, and I just took a stack of napkins out of Daniel's bag and left them upstairs.
But, I mean, that's where we're at, man. And I don't mind being an adult. I love being an adult because I don't know if it's like I said the other day. I couldn't be a kid right now. These kids go through way too much.
They do.
Way too much. So my advice to anybody who is like 16, 17, 18,
being that age.
Man, enjoy it while you can.
Enjoy being that age. And not enjoy it like we wish we could go back because it's some stuff I went through. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I'm straight.
Like,
but I'll say this. Enjoy it now. You know what I mean? Don't be scared to fail because it's a learning lesson.
Babe, that was good. That was a message.
Thank you. No, don't say that.
No, I don't mean that. That's some other folks. I don't mean it like that.
Don't be scared to fail, and go after what you love.
Yes, because you're young enough to risk it.
Don't let somebody tell you this is what you need to be or this is what you need to do. If you have a vision for what you want yourself to be, go and do that. I murdered this chicken.
It's the driest biscuit on the planet.
And I'm looking at your chicken bones, and there's still stuff on your chicken.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
There's gristle.
You gotta eat the whole thing.
No, I'm not eating this.
Fam.
That's not me.
Fam. That's still
not
stuff
meat.
on it.
No, that's not meat. That is not meat.
That's still stuff, yo.
Okay, that part is meat.
Thank you. That's still stuff. I mean, look at the crust. Look at the crust.
Here, you want the crust? Here you go.
Thank you.
You get on my knife. Ooh, you gonna edit that out?
No. All right, y'all. We need to wrap up because we got so much more we got to do in the next 3 hours.
We have to adult for the
adult.
next 3 hours. No joke.
We are, like we said, we're on the hunt for a new home. And
God, I hate moving.
It's going to be tough, but we will definitely keep you guys updated. Make sure you guys are following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All that is down in the description. I'm sure Mommy is going to make a video about life here real soon. So make sure you subscribe to her channel. And then your boy is going to be soon probably coming back with his channel besides the gaming channel. So make sure you guys hit all those links down in the description. And yeah, we'll talk to y'all next week. All right, and that's the other thing. She keep playing my feet and rubbing her feet up against mine.
Because your feet are warm.
I'm gonna mess around and have another one. Keep playing.
Can you wait till after the move? I don't want to be pregnant and packing.
I'm ready. We love each and every one of y'all. We want you guys to have a blessed week. Go hug somebody.
Let me stop this.
Tell them that you love them. 2 fingers in the air. Peace. Talk to y'all next week, man. Oh, if you guys got food suggestions or what we should talk about.
Yes, please suggest places for us to go eat.
Comment down below.
Especially if you're in the Vegas area because there are so many different restaurants here and we always end up eating in
I need to go drink some water because, like, this was so
biscuit.
dry. Like, your biscuit looks like a skeleton.
Look at it. Here, touch it.
No, I don't want to touch it.
Just touch it.
I don't want to touch that.
Just touch it.
I like myself to be wet.
Goodbye.